The Minnesota Timberwolves will not be contenders in the West until they figure out a way to fix the minutes that Julius Randle and Reid play together. That doesn't mean they can't be a good team. It doesn't mean, like every other team, that there isn't other issues they need to fix. But this problem is so glaring and so destructive that it's become completely untenable. Look, losses like the Christmas Day game against Denver can happen. Even a complete dud against the frisky Brooklyn Nets can happen. But there's a constant thread running through every single one of Minnesota's losses this season. Julius Randle and Reid cannot play together. They are one of the worst defensive pairings in the league. When they're on the court, Minnesota allows 121 points per 100 possessions defensively, a 15th percentile defensive rating, and in games that Minnesota lose, that number drops to 124.2, and they're outscored by 15.8 points per 100 in those Reid and Randle minutes. When things go wrong for Minnesota, this defensive pairing is usually taking a lot of the blame, and they play around 14 minutes a game together and take up a huge chunk of the salary cap, so to have one of the worst defensive ratings in the league during those minutes is a serious problem for any team considering themselves a contender. And really, there's just no redeemable defensive qualities in this pairing. It's all just kinda awful. In pick and roll, they are a constant source of food for different offenses. For Reid, he's just constantly stuck here in no man's land, both not far enough over to actually stop the drive, but also overcommitting and opening up a passing lane to the roll man if the offense wants it there as well. Usually they don't need the roller, it's just constant and easy rim pressure because he gets frozen in this kill zone where there's no chance he's recovering out to his man, but he's also doing nothing to stop the drive that he's overcommitted to. In general, I think Reid tries defensively. His technique is just so poor that he's easy to attack, especially in pick and roll. He plays super flat-footed and generally just takes bad angles into ball screen defense. He'll often go sprinting into a screen at a terrible angle, making it really easy for the ball handler to manipulate him and crumble Minnesota's defensive shell. The effort is there, but the technique is so bad that it doesn't matter. With Randle, it seems to be more of an effort issue. When teams bring him into pick and roll coverage, you can usually catch him just kinda standing there, not really attempting to do anything of note within the scheme. In drop coverage there, he's a statue, and on this possession, he's up to touch with no hands up, no intent to get into the ball, or prevent it getting over the top to the rollman. And sometimes he just gets stuck between coverages, where he's again not up to touch with the screen, but refuses to rotate over and help on the ball, despite having no help behind him at the rim. There's just not many miles in the legs of Randle on the defensive end of the floor. He's quick to give up on a play, which is a death sentence, when he's also not long, not fast, or not especially athletic defending in space. And for both players, those traits carry over and stand out when they're defending outside of the pick and roll as well. Randle is super late to react to any player trying to take him off the dribble. Those feet can work when he's got the ball in his hands, but defensively they look like they're stuck in concrete most of the time. And when he does decide to put a shift in defensively, it's usually in the form of a low percentage gamble like this one, which allows the best player in the world a free driving lane, or on the rare occasion he actually attempts to close out on a shooter, he takes these matador angles that lay out the red carpet for a blow-by and a bucket. This possession is a great example of the whole Randle defensive experience. He somehow lets this huge gap be created between him and Jokic off the inbound, then trots into this lazy closeout with his hands at his side, and allows a super simple blow-by bucket for the most dangerous player in the world. If we're talking about bad closeouts though, Naz Reid's closeouts are a stab in Minnesota's defense, and teams just relentlessly pitch it over and over again. This is clearly on the scouting report every single night. Find Reid's man in space, allow him to sprint recklessly into the shot contest, and then settle into an easy bucket coming off that. This is just a constant within Reid's minutes. Again, the intent seems to be there, but it's wild technique that just has no chance of working consistently. Now, they might be able to survive some of this when Rudy Gobert is covering for Randle or Reid, but when they share the floor, it's a layup line for opposing offenses. And like Randle, Reid is an easy target on switches as well for these ball handling bigs or guards. He's jumpy, he's over aggressive, and really just a bright red button that opposing offenses can push anytime they want to get a bucket off the dribble. Teams are very happy to take either of these guys off the bounce because they know the other one isn't going to be there waiting at the rim to help. If Randle and Reid are sharing the floor, there's no rim protection, no rim rotations, and no low man help. Both players are awful at recognizing, timing, and executing these rim rotations, and teams know it, so they attack the rim against these lineups without fear. Sometimes the low man helper isn't even there, choosing to chase a non-shooter out of the paint instead of helping down at the rim. This happens a surprising amount considering how harmful it is to the defense. You just don't see good rim protectors follow non-shooters out and leave a canyon at the rim for easy buckets. You do see it a ton in these lineups though. Other times, the rotations are just going to be super late to where it doesn't actually impact the shot at the rim, or if they do actually get there, they're just too small to make a difference. Like, there's nothing wrong with this rotation, but because Randle isn't a true big man, it's still an easy floater over him. And really, that's an unsolvable issue in these lineups. Even on the rare occasions when Naz Reid steps up into here on the low man rotation, he's often unable to actually affect the shot because of his size. That's not going to change as long as they've got no true big playing next to him. And now the book is well and truly out on this pairing. And that means teams are attacking it consistently, and that's not going to change either. If you can get both of them in one action, it's going to be points almost every single time. We're seeing teams take Randle off the dribble, draw Reid toward them, and then find the easy pass to Reid's man. That's light work for most NBA offenses to navigate. We're also seeing teams force Randle to chase off ball and then bringing Reid into that same action where they know those two will mess up the pick and roll coverage. Making Randle exert energy where he doesn't want to and forcing Reid to be a helper is absolutely a thing that's happening to Minnesota on a regular basis now, and it will never end well for the defense. Even if they are attentive and trying to defend actions involving them, they're going to come unstuck with their poor technique and the way they approach defensive rotations. There's a lot of things to like about this Minnesota Timberwolves team this season, but I'm pretty sure none of it is going to matter later in the season if they don't find a way to break up this pairing and avoid these costly minutes night after night. If you want to see less Reid and Randle minutes, and you want to see more breakdowns like this one, the best thing you can do is subscribe to the channel, drop a like or a comment to help Howls and Growls grow, and keep watching the videos all season long. Thanks again for watching, and happy holidays to all of you who do.